Happy July 1st, everyone. July 1st is a special date because it means the apple trees I started from seed on January 1st, 2016 are now 30 months old or 2.5 years old. It's been hotter than Hades out here, guys. Another 100-degree day. The garden is struggling because of all the 100-degree temperatures we're having. Matter of fact, I don't think we've had a day less than 96, 97 in 3 or 4 weeks. That being said, I know many of you want to be updated on my apple trees grown from seed series, and so I'm going to start off by showing you the ones that are about 2 years old now, as well as my 4-year-old Gala Apple Tree. I'll just do a quick show of those, and then we'll get on to the 2 that are actually 30 months old, including the one that has some fruit sets. Let's go take a look. All right, so here's my 4-year-old Gala Apple Tree. I got this guy from a nursery when he was a couple of years old. He hasn't actually put on any fruit yet. He has flowered a little bit this year, but he didn't set any fruit because he took forever to get his blossoms open, and by then my crab apple trees and my apple tree from seed had already had all their flowers closed. But he'll fruit next year, and one thing I did is I summer pruned this guy this year. Just did it a couple days ago. This will promote him to get more side branching. I cut off most of the terminal ends to go ahead and promote side branching and to see if I can get more flowering buds to sprout on this guy. Anyway, that's for another video. I just wanted to talk to you about my Gala Apple. These are all my 2-year-old trees. Again, they're stunted. I left these guys indoors for a long time, but they're starting to actually put on some growth now, as you can see. This series is not about these, but I like to include them in since they are apple trees grown from seed, and they are also Gala apples. So pretty good. I actually topped this guy at the end of the last video, and he shot up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with the growth on this one. This one has not done a lot, but he is coming back pretty strong. These guys really struggled after the winter to get their first buds broken, and they've done well since. And then finally, this is my 3rd one. This guy had a dual leader, and I went ahead and chopped off the 2nd leader, and now he's a single leader apple tree. So pretty good. All 3 of those are just turning 2 years old right about now. I'll have to take a look at when I started the Apple 2 series, but that's where these apple trees are from, the Apple 2 series. Now that you've seen the 2-year-old apple trees and the 4-year-old Gala apple tree, let's go take a look at some of the other apple trees I've grown from seed. As always, guys, I'll start you off with the original apple tree I've grown from seed. We'll get past this pool equipment here for a second, and I'll show you how well he's doing. He's done a really good job of maintaining his height and just thickening up. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. So there you have it. He's really maybe grown another 6 inches since the last month. And heck, the most of the growth has happened from this water sprout. And I will, like I said, end up taking this water sprout off. I'm just debating on if I can encourage him to get a couple of roots off the bottom of this growing into the ground, and I might try to propagate this guy. We'll see. Not quite sure yet. Look how big this guy's getting. Continuing to grow. Again, I will not be doing any summer pruning on this apple tree. I'm not worried about trying to get blossom or fruiting ends or fruiting buds for next year, or fruiting spurs, however you want to say them. Right now, I'm just worried about this guy getting as thick and as lush as possible. We'll condition this guy. I do have to do some maintenance inside his canopy. It is getting crowded. We've got some cross branching, as you see here. Don't like that, but I'm not worried about it right now. He seems to be doing good. My guesstimate is he's about 11 feet now for sure. And then wow, I have you here. It's a lot of peaches on that peach tree. And again, that's for another series too. All right, now that I've shown you that, let's go and take a look at the one that has fruit sets, and we'll see how they're doing. Man, it's hot out here, you guys. I'm sure a lot of you are gardening when it's hot as well, but this is ridiculous. Let me go and flip the camera on and show you this apple tree. This is the 30-month-old apple tree grown from seed, just like the last one I just showed you. And this is the one with the fruit sets. I've been really letting this guy kind of branch out and grow on his own. I figure more foliage is more nutrients might be bigger apples. You know, he's a small apple tree, and so he's going to produce small apples this year if they're even tasty. That's the big question on my mind, and I'm sure it's on your guys' mind. You know, we have a lot of the hand pollinated ones still on there. We also have some of the fruit sets that were not hand pollinated, and they're starting to get some size as well. They've always been a lot smaller than the ones I started with my hand pollination using the Royal Majesty crab apple. But I'm not too worried about those. I just wanted to give you a good look at the ones I've hand pollinated. And look at, continuing to get bigger, guys. Still not extremely large. I think April 15th was the day that they were hand pollinated by me. So they're about 75 days in since their pollination. And since apples take between 100 and 200 days to be mature, I guess they're still on track. They've probably grown maybe 10% of their current size since the last video, so that's a little concerning. But again, it's 100 degrees out. We haven't got a lot of rain. We had a big storm about a week ago. We had a couple of nights in a row where it was a bunch of storm, and I promise you, it seems like as soon as I looked at them after that day, they got bigger, and then they haven't grown since. But maybe it's just me. Mother Nature plays tricks. Whenever it rains, everything looks better, it seems like. Again, the weeds are already starting to encroach. We've got a water sprout on this one. I don't really want that. I want them focused on the fruits for now, so we'll pull that out. But yeah, crazy, doing well. And the fruits are slowly getting bigger. You know what? Let me do something right now. Let me go ahead and get a ruler. We'll place it in front of the fruit, see how big it is. That way the next video, we'll go ahead and put the ruler in front and see if it's got any bigger based on actual measurements. I'll be right back. All right, let's take a look here and see what we got. Looks like we got 3/4 of an inch in diameter on that one. And for this other one, the angle's a little tough here, guys, but let's see if I can get this done. About the same thing exactly. So 3/4 of an inch is there. As you can see, they're pretty small. And to give you an idea of what that means, this is the Royal Majesty crab apple tree that I used to hand pollinate what appears to be some type of green apple. And let's take a look at the size of these. And these have been on the trees for about a month longer than those. And they put on most of their size this last month. So this guy is roughly 1.25 inches. So I'm thinking these guys will at least get to 1.25 inches, maybe a few inches. And if I pull one of these off, since these are not really edible crab apples, you can use these for jams if you boil them, but that's about the size that you're looking at. So I'm hoping that these little guys get a little bigger than these. But I'll tell you, last year, these crab apples were not even this big. This tree was not this big. And as this tree gets bigger, these seem to get bigger. So maybe that'll happen for that next year. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch. First things first. Let's get these to maturity. And let's get these to see if they're actually edible or not. That's the 30-month look in on these. And I'll catch you up again next month unless something magical happens between now and then. All right, everyone. So that's my apple tree update after 30 months. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. If you are, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I do a lot of different series growing from seeds. Matter of fact, even if you are a subscriber, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get alerts when I've updated one of my series. As always, this is Rob the Backyard Gardener, wishing you happy gardening and thanking you for watching. Think it can get any hotter?